Hello everyone! Hearthstone's Journey to Un'Goro card reveal season continues, and the latest released card is something I'm really excited about. It's the new warrior class legendary minion, King Mosh. And King Mosh is really exciting because it just might bring back one of my favorite decks of all time, the Control Warrior. And let's find out why it might be able to do that. So, we take a look at King Mosh. King Mosh is a 9 mana 9/7 beast minion, and it has battle cry, destroy all damaged minions. Okay, so you need something to pair this up with. You need an existing board maybe, or even a spell like Whirlwind, a 1 mana spell by the way. And then you can just clean up the whole board and have your own 9/7 there instead. So in many ways it's very similar to Deathwing, except that you need to combo it up with one other spell probably, whereas Deathwing basically combos with your entire hand, so you discard all of your hand when you're playing Deathwing. And King Mosh can achieve that same effect, almost the same effect. It doesn't kill undamaged minions obviously, so if minions have Divine Shield for example, they can dodge the effect of a Whirlwind, but almost the same effect at a much lower cost. And this card is huge for Control Warrior. When we look at the Jade Druid matchup right now, which is the most oppressive matchup for a Control Warrior, well, Jade Druid is never going to run out of resources. You simply cannot stop the incoming Jade train. But they can run out of tempo. And the big thing about King Mosh is the tempo swing it provides. Okay, if you play a Brawl, for example, alright, you clean up most of the board, maybe even get all of the minions and have something remaining from your own side. But with this one, you're guaranteed to kill all of the Jades and have a big minion of your own on the board. Okay, they can start building up the Jade army again, but then King Mosh can just go face. Maybe you have Grommash with another effect and can go face, and you can win the game by the tempo swing, even if you cannot run them out of resources. Against Jade Shaman it's a little bit different, because Warrior is already almost able to run Jade Shaman out of resources. Jade Shaman Jades, if they don't have brand, they go up to 10/10. So you're very, very close to be able to deal with that. This just might be the thing that pushes it over the edge and actually makes it possible for Control Warrior to fatigue the Jade Shaman. They will simply run out of resources. You will have too much removal. They cannot kill you. Now, of course, you still have to survive until the late game, so Shaman can apply a lot of pressure in mid game, maybe kill you with Bloodlust. It's not 100% Control Warrior win, but this card can definitely make it easier for Control Warrior to win. And this same consideration would apply to something like a Dragon Priest, but that archetype is going to die with the rotation anyway, so that's not really relevant. And if there's a lot of these Jade decks on the ladder, you might even consider running Control Warrior that runs King Mosh and Deathwing. So you make one tempo swing. Ideally you want to make it with King Mosh first. So you make it with King Mosh, they use their removal, kill King Mosh, they rebuild. Then when you slam Deathwing later, they just might have run out of removal, so they cannot answer the second tempo swing that's coming. That's already might be a deck that requires a specific meta, but it is definitely an option. And overall this starts to look quite nice for the Control Warrior, because the Control Warrior staple area of effect spell, Revenge, is rotating out. Revenge is like the go-to spell for area of effect damage for Control Warrior nowadays. So you typically run Revenge, you run Ravaging Ghoul. Many decks, but not all, also run Sleep with the Fishes. And from now on, you're going to replace Revenge with Whirlwind. And you can still keep running Sleep with the Fishes, so that you can get some more oomph into that Whirlwind, because it doesn't grow when you go low on health. And then you still also have the King Mosh Whirlwind combo available to you. So overall, that AoE aspect of Control Warrior looks to be shaping up quite nicely. Some of the criticism of this card has been that it's too slow. Okay, you can play the combo on turn 10, That is a long time to stay alive. But if there is a deck that can do it, then that's going to be Control Warrior. Even though Control Warrior is losing some of the tools like Justicar, which is admittedly a significant tool, but they still have stuff like Shield Block, they still have stuff like Ally Armorsmith, which is actually a pretty good card. So they still have these means to generate armor and stay alive, prolong the game. So if there's a class that can really benefit from these late game mass removal cards, tempo swing cards, then Control Warrior is definitely that kind of a class. If we take a bit wider perspective, we might even think that the new normal might shape up to look a bit like the old normal. So the power of aggro, it looks like it's going to be diminished a little. And that doesn't mean that aggro is dead. Aggro right now is more lethal than it has ever been in Hearthstone before. So the power level of aggro is just off the top, through the roof. And now aggro might be diminished in power a little, it will still be present. Then there will be these Jade decks, but Control Warrior can now maybe take on some of those. It has always been very good at punishing aggro. If aggro grows a little bit weaker, there might also be more space for classic mid-range style decks that generate tokens maybe, or otherwise generate white boards, difficult to remove boards. And then these decks in turn can punish the Control Warrior, who is now good against aggro and can also take some games from the Jade decks. So actually, if that's the direction the game is going, then it's going to be more in the direction that it used to be. And I think that would be very, very welcome for the game, because right now it's too aggro dominated. But yeah, King Mosh, an interesting card. I'm really looking forward whether it can bring Control Warrior back. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the show, please click the like button and subscribe to my channel for more.